Project Veritas, an activist group that mounts undercover video stings of liberals and mainstream news organizations, received nearly $1.7 million in donations last year from a giant charity long associated with the Koch brothers and other conservatives, according to documents filed with the Internal Revenue Service. The donations pushed Project Veritas' contributions to new highs during the 2016 presidential election and highlight the prominent spot the group occupies in a national network of conservative nonprofits that strongly supported Donald Trump over Democrat Hillary Clinton. Project Veritas, a tax-exempt public charity, purports to expose what it calls dishonesty and corruption. An operative working with the group in recent weeks falsely claimed to two Washington Post reporters that U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore impregnated her as a teenager. The Post did not publish a story based on her account, which collapsed under reporters' scrutiny. The $1.7 million came through Donors Trust, a type of tax-exempt charity called a donor-advised fund, DAF. Billionaire industrialists Charles and David Koch and other wealthy conservatives rely on Donors Trust and similar groups to finance numerous charities and other nonprofit organizations to promote libertarian, small government and free market policies and candidates, according to IRS filings and Robert Brull, a professor of sociology and environmental science at Drexel University who tracks such spending. For example, Charles Koch has long served as chairman or director of the Knowledge and Progress Fund Incorporated, a tax-exempt private foundation that donated millions to Donors Trust since the mid-2000s, IRS filings show. In 2015, the most recent year for available IRS filings, Knowledge and Progress gave Donors Trust $5.2 million, its only contribution for the year. Donors' identities are not disclosed, even in filings to the government. Unlike other donor-advised plans, Donors Trust is absolutely committed to a clearly defined purpose and mission, supporting causes and public policies that preserve our constitutionally protected liberties and strengthen American civil society through private institutions rather than government programs, the Donors Trust website says. The failed effort by conservative activists to plant a false story about Senate candidate Roy Moore in the Washington Post was part of a months-long campaign to infiltrate the Post and other media outlets in Washington and New York, according to interviews, text messages, and social media posts. The failed effort by conservative activists to plant a false story about Senate candidate Roy Moore in the Washington Post was part of a months-long campaign to infiltrate the Post and other media outlets in Washington and New York, according to interviews, text messages, and social media posts. Wealthy donors made at least 15 tax-deductible contributions to Project Veritas through Donors Trust in 2016, gifts that amounted to more than a third of the $4.9 million Project Veritas received that year, IRS filings show. Project Veritas founder and chairman James O'Keefe received more than $320,000 in pay last year, documents show.